Question 21. In AWS, which of the following services can be used as an application firewall to protect against DDoS distributed denial of service attacks? And the options are A. AWS Security Groups, B. AWS WAF, C. AWS Network ACL NACL, D. AWS Artifact. And the correct answer is option B. AWS WAF. Explanation. AWS WAF is a web application firewall that can be deployed on CloudFront to help protect your application against DDoS attacks by giving you control over which traffic to allow or block by defining security rules. If you have a cloud-based solution WAF, you usually get an add-on feature for DDoS protection. Option A is incorrect. A security group acts as a virtual firewall, controlling the traffic that is allowed to reach and leave the resources that it is associated with. Security group cannot prevent DDoS attacks. Option C is incorrect. NACL is an optional layer of security that acts as a firewall for controlling traffic in and out of a subnet. You can associate multiple subnets with a single network ACL, but a subnet can be associated with only one network ACL at a time. NACL doesn't have any inbuilt DDoS protection. However, using NACL, you can block IPs or IP ranges from where the DDoS traffic is originating. Option D is incorrect. AWS Artifact is your go-to central resource for compliance-related information that matters to you. It provides on-demand access to AWS, security, and compliance reports and select online agreements. Next question. What can be termed as a user-defined label that has a key-value pair of a variable character length? It is assigned to AWS resources as metadata for administration and management purposes. And the options are A. Resource tag, B. Resource group, C. Resource flag, D. Tag key. And the correct answer is option A. Resource tag. Explanation. AWS resource tags are a critical component when architecting in the cloud. They create an identifying mechanism for the user to group, classify, and order all their provisioned resources appropriately. Option B is incorrect. AWS resource groups enable the ordering of AWS resources into logical groupings. Resources can be ordered by application, environment, or software component. Option C is incorrect. Flags are used in AWS CloudFormation. The option is inaccurate. Option D is incorrect. A tag key is only part of what makes up a resource tag. Each resource tag will have a key and value string. Next question. A financial organization maintains on-premises data centers that hold a large volume of customer financial transaction data on its mainframe systems. Because of performance issues, they have implemented a caching solution in the AWS cloud that will hold the customer's financial data. Transferring transaction data to the cloud is extremely bandwidth intensive and highly confidential. What connectivity would you recommend for this data transfer? And the options are A. Direct connect with a VPN connection, B. Virtual private network, C. AWS storage gateway, D. AWS Snowball. And the correct answer is option A. Direct connect with a VPN connection. Explanation. Direct connect provides a dedicated connection to the on-premises data center, bypassing the internet and providing a more secure data transfer mechanism. According to the question, data security, encryption, and high bandwidth is necessary. Direct connect over VPN meets all of these requirements. VPN provides the encryption and direct connect provides the dedicated high bandwidth connection. Option B is incorrect. Bandwidth is important for the connection, so direct connect is required. Option C is incorrect. AWS Storage Gateway is a means that provides a backup and recovery option for data to the AWS cloud that is stored within the on-premises data center. Primarily used with S3, the transfer still happens through the internet after encryption. Also, since the data is backed up asynchronously, the cache may be eventually consistent, resulting in stale data being retrieved from the cache. Option D is incorrect. Snowball is an offline data transfer mechanism used when there is a huge amount of data, 100 TB, that needs to be transferred to the cloud. Moving them over a WAN can take years and can be impractical at times. A physical appliance is shipped to the on-premise data center, which can be hooked to a network for transferring data. Once done, it is shipped back to the cloud data center, where it can be copied to storage devices like S3. Since our scenario requires real-time data availability between the on-premise data center and AWS cloud, it may not suffice the requirements. Next question. Which of the following services can be used to investigate and analyze the root cause of potential security threats to AWS resources? And the options are A. Amazon Detective, B. AWS Shield, C. Amazon Guard Duty, D. AWS Security Hub. And the correct answer is option A. Amazon Detective. Explanation. Amazon Detective can be used to identify the root cause of the potential security threat. It collects and analyzes data from multiple sources like AWS CloudTrail logs, VPC flow logs, and Amazon Guard Duty findings. Based upon unified findings created by Amazon Detective, the security team can quickly determine the root cause of the security threat. Option B is incorrect, as AWS Shield is a managed DDoS protection service that detects DDoS attacks and provides mitigation for the same. This service is not suitable for investigating the root cause of potential security threats on AWS resources. Option C is incorrect, as Amazon Guard Duty is a threat detection service that monitors logs from AWS CloudTrail event logs, Amazon VPC flow logs, and DNS logs to detect any malicious activity. Guard Duty is mostly used for detecting DDoS attacks, not to analyze the root causes. Option D is incorrect, as AWS Security Hub aggregates alerts from various services like Amazon Guard Duty, Amazon Inspector, Amazon Massey, and AWS Partner Solutions in a single place. Next question. Your company is looking for dedicated block storage for EC2 instance. Which of the following can be attached to an EC2 instance to store data? And the options are A. Amazon S3, B. Amazon EBS volumes, C. Amazon EBS snapshots, D. Amazon EFS. And the correct answer is option B. Amazon EBS volumes. Explanation. An Amazon EBS volume is a durable block-level storage device that you can attach to a single EC2 instance. You can use EBS volumes as primary storage for data that requires frequent updates, such as a system drive for an instance or a storage for a database application. Option A is incorrect. Amazon Simple Storage Service is an object storage service, not a block storage. Option C is incorrect. Amazon EBS Snapshots is a backup for EBS volumes. It cannot be attached with EC2. Option D is incorrect. Amazon EFS is a block storage, but the scenario in the question is looking for dedicated storage. EFS usually leveraged for shared storage across hundreds of EC2 instances. Next question. Which of the following is a secure, isolated networking component that can be used to host EC2 resources in the AWS cloud? And the options are A. AWS NACL, B. AWS VPC, C. AWS ECS, D. AWS EKS. And the correct answer is option B. AWS VPC. Explanation. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, Amazon VPC, enables you to launch AWS resources into a virtual network that you have defined. This virtual network closely resembles a traditional network that you'd operate in your own data center, with the benefits of using the scalable infrastructure of AWS. Option A is incorrect. AWS NACL is an optional layer of security that acts as a firewall for controlling traffic in and out of a subnet. Option C is incorrect. Amazon Elastic Container Service is a highly scalable, high-performance container management service that supports Docker containers and allows you to easily run applications on a managed cluster of Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud instances. Option D is incorrect. Amazon Elastic Kubernetes Service, Amazon EKS, is a managed Kubernetes service that makes it easy for you to run Kubernetes on AWS and on-premises. Next question. Which component of the AWS CloudFront service can be used to distribute content globally? And the options are A. CloudFront Origins, B. Amazon Regions, C. Amazon Availability Zones, D. Amazon Edge Locations. And the correct answer is option D. Amazon Edge Locations. Explanation. Amazon CloudFront is a web service that speeds up the distribution of your static and dynamic web content such as HTML, CSS, JS, and image files to your users. CloudFront delivers your content through a worldwide network of data centers called edge locations. AWS Edge Location is the place where the data are cached to reduce the latency to the end users. They are located in the major cities around the world. These infrastructure are used to provide only the services such as CloudFront, Lambda, etc. Option A is incorrect. An origin is the location where content is stored and from which CloudFront gets content to serve to viewers. To specify an origin, use S3 origin config to specify an Amazon S3 bucket that is not configured with the static website hosting. Option B is incorrect. Amazon EC2 is hosted in multiple locations worldwide. These locations are composed of regions, availability zones, local zones, AWS outpost, and wavelength zones. Each region is a separate geographic area. Option C is incorrect. Availability zones are multiple, isolated locations within each region. Next question. Your web application is deployed in the OU region. The website is now planned to be distributed to other regions, and you plan to use CloudFront for global distribution. What statements about CloudFront are false? Select two options. And the options are A. CloudFront uses the concept of edge locations for catching and delivering content faster to its users. B. CloudFront can help improve performance by using keep-alive connections between the edge locations and the origin server. C. CloudFront doesn't cache dynamic content. D. CloudFront can use only S3 buckets as their origin server from where they can cache content. E. CloudFront can customize content at the edge locations before delivering it to users. And the correct answer is option C. CloudFront does not cache dynamic content, and option D. CloudFront can use only S3 buckets as their origin server from where they can cache content. Explanation. Option C is correct since we can use the time to live TTL value to enable caching of dynamic content. Option D is correct. CloudFront has been open to use origin servers of your choice that can be S3 or a custom origin like EC2, ELB, etc. Option A is incorrect. CloudFront does use the concept of edge locations for caching content that is requested by the user. When a user in the US requests content in a web server hosted in the Mumbai region, CloudFront will initially check whether the content is available at the nearest edge location in the US region. If it is available, the content will be served directly from the edge location. If not, CloudFront will request the origin server, get the content and cache it, and the edge location for serving future requests. Option B is incorrect. Every HTTP connection runs on TCP or IP. For every HTTP connection to work, a TCP handshake has to be initially completed L. Option E is incorrect. CloudFront has the ability to customize content at the edge location before delivering it to its users. For example, a Lambda function, usually referred to as Lambda at edge, can use the following triggers: viewer request, origin response, viewer response, that can be used for customizing the end user experience. Next question. Your company plans to migrate its critical applications to AWS EC2. The company management, however, is unfamiliar with AWS Cloud and worried about running cost. Which of the following is an advantage of Amazon EC2 from a cost standpoint? And the options are A. Having the ability of automated backups of the EC2 instance, you don't need to worry about maintenance cost. B. The ability to choose low-cost AMIs to prepare the EC2 instances. C. The ability to only pay for what you use. D. Ability to tag instances to reduce the overall cost. And the correct answer is option C. The ability to only pay for what you use. Explanation. One of the advantages of EC2 instances is the pre-second billing concept. This is also given in the AWS documentation. With per second billing, you pay for only what you use. It takes the cost of unused minutes and seconds in an hour off of the bill. So, you can focus on improving your applications instead of maximizing users to the hour, especially if you manage instances running for irregular periods of time, such as dev, testing, data processing, analytics, batch processing, and gaming applications. Option A is incorrect. Backups will not reduce cost. Rather, enabling the automated backups will increase the cost. Option B is incorrect. Low-cost EMIs cannot considered as a cloud advantage. Option D is incorrect. Tracks are primarily used to group resources for management purposes. Using tracks will not reduce cost. Next question. Your company plans to move its on-premises workload to AWS. The company wants to ensure that appropriate tools are used in order to ensure the right security settings are in place. Which of the following tools could be helpful? Select two options. And the options are A. AWS Inspector, B. AWS Trusted Advisor, C. AWS Config, D. AWS Artifact. And the correct answer is option A. AWS Inspector and option B. AWS Trusted Advisor. Explanation. Trusted Advisor is a service to help you reduce cost, increase performance, and improve security by optimizing your AWS environment. Trusted Advisor provides real-time guidance to help you provision your resources following AWS best practices. The AWS Inspector can inspect EC2 instances against common threats. Amazon Inspector is an automated vulnerability management service that continually scans AWS workloads for software vulnerabilities and unintended network exposure. Option C is incorrect. AWS Config is a service that enables you to assess, audit, and evaluate the configurations of your AWS resources. Config continuously monitors and records your AWS resource configurations and allows you to automate the evaluation of recorded configurations against desired configurations. Option D is incorrect. AWS Artifact is your go-to central resource for compliance-related information that matters to you. It provides on-demand access to AWS security and compliance reports and select online agreements. Next question. There is a requirement to collect important metrics from AWS RDS and EC2 instances. Which AWS service would be helpful to fulfill this requirement? And the options are A. Amazon Cloud Trail, B. Amazon Cloud Search, C. Amazon Cloud Watch, D. Amazon Guard Duty. And the correct answer is option C. Amazon Cloud Watch. Explanation. Amazon Cloud Watch is a monitoring service for AWS cloud resources and the applications you run on AWS. You can use Amazon Cloud Watch to collect and track metrics, collect and monitor log files, set alarms, and automatically react to changes in your AWS resources. Option A is incorrect. AWS Cloud Trail is an AWS service that helps you enable governance, compliance, and operational and risk auditing of your AWS account. Actions taken by a user, role, or AWS service are recorded as events in Cloud Trail. Option B is incorrect. Amazon Cloud Search is a managed service in the AWS cloud that makes it simple and cost-effective to set up, manage, and scale a search solution for your website or application. Amazon Cloud Search supports 34 languages and popular search features such as highlighting, autocomplete, and geospatial search. Option D is incorrect. Amazon Guard Duty is a threat detection service that continuously monitors your AWS accounts and workloads for malicious activity and delivers detailed security findings for visibility and remediation. Next question. A number of large objects from different geographical locations need to be uploaded to an S3 bucket. Which is the fastest and most reliable way to accomplish this? And the options are: A. You can connect to an application running on AWS EC2 that is hosted in multiple regions using Route 53 and use latency-based routing to upload files to the S3 bucket. B. You can use a direct connect link from each of the geographic location for transferring data quickly. C. You can use S3 transfer acceleration from each geographic location that will route the data from their respective edge locations to S3. D. You can directly access the S3 bucket from the different locations and use a multi-part upload for transferring huge objects. And the correct answer is option C. You can use S3 transfer acceleration from each geographic location that will route the data from their respective edge locations to S3. Explanation. The best way to address this scenario is to route the request to the nearest CloudFront edge location from the different geographical locations. Edge locations provide a fast network infrastructure bypassing much of the internet for delivering content to S3 destinations. Performance gains of nearly 50 to 500% can be observed while using S3 transfer acceleration. Option A is incorrect, since Route 53 latency routing only calculates latency between different endpoints based on the internet traffic and location proximity rather than optimizing the network for fast data transfers. Option B is incorrect, since direct connect is used for very specific purposes like extreme security requirements for the data transfer. Also, establishing multiple direct connect infrastructures would be expensive from a cost standpoint. Option D is incorrect. It is possible to use S3 endpoints directly for data transfer, but it will be impractical for situations where the geographic location is significantly far away from the S3 destination, introducing high latency while uploading large objects. Next question. Which statement is accurate about AWS budgets and Cost Explorer? And the options are: A. AWS budgets uses the cost visualizations provided by AWS Cost Explorer to show the status of preset budgets and to provide forecast of estimated cost. B. Both AWS budgets and AWS Cost Explorer can be used to predict uses and to give recommended cost optimization measures. C. AWS budgets will list the cost incurred over a period of time with a further breakdown by region and a linked account. D. Due to the sensitivity of billing and cost management information with the AWS Cost Explorer and AWS budget services, it is not possible to view the information for multiple accounts. And the correct answer is option A. AWS budgets uses the cost visualization provided by AWS Cost Explorer to show the status of preset budgets and to provide forecast of estimated cost. Explanation. Under the billing and cost management service in the AWS management service, it is possible to use the AWS budgets and Cost Explorer to show the status of preset budgets and to provide forecast of estimated cost. Option B is incorrect because AWS budgets doesn't provide cost optimization recommendations. Option C is incorrect because this feature is not provided by AWS budgets. Rather, it is provided by Cost Explorer. Option D is incorrect because it is possible to view billing information for multiple AWS accounts as long as the administrator has lawful jurisdiction over them. Next question. What security service can be used to detect personal credit card numbers from data stored in Amazon S3? And the options are: A. Amazon Messi, B. Amazon Athena, C. Amazon Inspector, D. AWS Shield. And the correct answer is option A. Amazon Messi. Explanation. Amazon Messi is a managed security service that can be used to detect personally identifiable information such as names, passwords, and credit card numbers from large amounts of data stored in an Amazon S3 bucket. Option B is incorrect. Amazon Athena is a serverless interactive query service to query data and analyze big data in Amazon S3 using standard SQL. Option C is incorrect, as Amazon Inspector can analyze potential security threats for an Amazon EC2 instance against an assessment template with predefined rules. Option D is incorrect, as AWS Shield provides protection against DDoS attacks. Thank you for watching this video. Buy our AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner CLF C01 premium questions with 50% off. Check link in the description.